day that back in the era it was happening was unheard of to see a WWF superstar battle a WCW superstar for ECW's championship.
At an ECW show.
At an ECW show. It's Mike Awesome versus Taz.
And wasn't it a house show?
Yes.
Yes, which was beyond comprehension. Like, we blew everybody's minds that night. Like, the fans in attendance went apeshit when this happened. I remember from being in the back, I remember a tremendous amount of heat on Mike Awesome. The boys, like, everybody was mad at him. And I always got along with Mike. Mm-hmm. Like, I know a lot of people didn't like him. Some did, some didn't, whatever. I hung out with Mike outside of work too, him and his wife. And he was always a complete gentleman, very, very nice guy to me. But I do remember, like, this night, he waited in the car. Like, I remember him being outside.
Right.
And not coming in. And, like, Taz was in there. And, like, I don't remember seeing Mike. I think they took Mike in just when his music was playing. I could be wrong about that, but I don't remember him being in the back. Because I just remember there was this buzz, like there was so much heat.
Right.
When he left with the belt,
right.
Correct?
Correct.
So
he shows up on Nitro. He comes out of the crowd. He beats up Kevin Nash. So right off the bat, he's put in a big spot in WCW because they say he's the ECW champion. What's he doing here?
Okay. Yeah. So there was heat. I don't remember, like, I wasn't privy to the fact if Paul knew, he was doing that. Like, I don't know the backstory. I just remember that night, Jeff Jones, like, was kind of like, was Jeff there? I want to say Jeff was still with us.
Well, he was with Mike, so yeah.
Right, yeah. So Jeff, I think, was, like, running to the car, trying to, because he wouldn't come in the back. Because I don't know if Mike thought that he had heat or if he had legit heat for taking the belt and the boys were pissed at him. I don't know. But all I know is when those two came out, the place went nuts.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, we have a WWF guy, a WCW guy, and you're at an ECW house. You're at a house show.
I just can't remember. I don't believe Taz was announced.
No, I don't. I think it was a surprise.
Yes, I believe Taz was a surprise. So Taz leaves technically in September of the previous year. He debuts for the WWF in January after all the big hoolah that they built him up. So when Taz is now coming in April, this is a much tanner and much more orange colored Taz in his WWF shirt coming out to this ECW show. Is now a WWF superstar. So you not only do you have this awkward situation with Mike Awesome, but now you've got this guy left in a very emotional way is now back to reclaim the belt. So What do you remember about Taz being at this show?
Just I think he was, like, doing us the favor of coming in and
but where's Tommy Dreamer? Why come or Spike Dudley can't roll Mike Awesome and have the belt for a night?
Because we wanted to pop the crowd. Having somebody that was already in the company do it, what's the big deal to that? Like, who cares if? No offense, but who cares if one of our guys who are already with us in the locker room rolls up Mike Awesome and takes the
but
belt.
You send out Chili Willy to roll him up, and this guy who's going to be on WCW TV just lost to Chili Willy for the world title. That's the kind of logic I would use.
Don't underestimate Chili Willy.
I just saw he was on the card. That's why I love Chili Willy. Chili
Willy's got some balls on him, like tough. I mean, I don't know what his balls.
Anybody who's that big and can move and dance like him can do whatever the hell he wants.
He can do what he wants. He's a tough mother trucker. But no, I just feel like it was a pop. It was a surprise. We like to surprise people. It was a house show. It got people talking. I don't think it would have had as much impact if we just used some rando, as you call it, the word you always use.
Love rando.
I think having Taz there was a great move. Nobody expected it.
Yes, April 13th, 2000, Indianapolis, Indiana. So not necessarily, ECW home territory. So it's really, you guys are just on the road. You're literally just taking the belt off of him. The footage ends up being played on, I think, SmackDown, because this ends up leading to ECW World Champion Taz facing WWF Champion Triple H. And Triple H squashes him,
out,
5 minutes, to include a run-in by a still ECW Tommy Dreamer. So a lot of cross-pollination going on at this point, where a year later, everybody would be gone except for WWF. But this one moment, April 2000, every world
collided,
came together. But then look at, so Mike Awesome, obviously he went for the guaranteed money, he went for the big contract, blah, blah, blah. They take him, they turn him into that 70s guy, Mike Awesome. They
wasn't he the fat Thriller, lady killer?
That was Mike Awesome, the fat chick Thriller. Yep. I mean, come on.
I know. Look, I like I said, I liked Mike a lot.
There's the fat chick Thriller.
Look at him.
Can't say that anymore.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. He had his demons, and I'll never forget Sean Stasiak telling me he saw him because he hung himself. So he saw him through the window.
Oh, Sean Stasiak's the one that found the body?
I'm pretty sure Sean, wow. And he called somebody. I'm trying to remember the way the story went. Or somebody saw him through the window. I don't know if it was Sean, but they saw that he hung himself. So very sad.
It says right here on Wikipedia, it says February 17th, 2007, a group of his friends found him dead after he'd hung himself inside his Tampa home. He was only 42.
42, married. He had children, right?
He was cousin of Hulk Hogan's nephew, Michael Bolea, who's known as Horace Hogan. No relation to Bill Alfonso. After all, no, that doesn't say if he had.
I thought he had children. Maybe I'm wrong, but
married his high school sweetheart.
I met her.
Oh no, they met her. 2 children, 2 kids.
Yes, I'm pretty sure he had kids. So, and
Casey
I met his wife.
And Carissa.
She was a very sweet girl. It's just a heartbreaking story. But again, I think it wasn't that he left. It was the way that he left that got him all the heat. So unfortunate.